Hey everyone, I'm Isaac and welcome to a very special episode of Isaac Reviews 2025. Special as in I gave the video a different title. Now when it came to the subject of this review, The Unbreakable Boy, I didn't know what to expect from it for the longest time. Partially since Lionsgate kept delaying it for unknown reasons. Now where have I seen this before? There was one other notable thing about this movie that grabbed my attention, however. It was a biographical film about a kid on the autism spectrum. And for those of you who are unaware, I myself am autistic as well. And it's interesting to see it get portrayed in the media beyond characters that I only think are neurodivergent. But for explicitly neurodivergent characters, it's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes it provides an accurate and realistic portrayal of what it's like to be on the spectrum, and other times, well, I'm not touching that movie and you can't make me. And with The Unbreakable Boy, I was curious to see how they do it since it's based on a true story, but I started to get worried once the trailer came out. I'll go more in depth on that later, but I still wanted to give this as much benefit of the doubt as I could, so I went out and watched it, and Christ almighty do I regret that. It supposedly centers around Austin, a kid on the spectrum who also has OCD and brittle bones, trying to understand his conditions and how he can still be a happy and successful person. But I guess we can't always have nice things now, can we? No, this film is instead focused on Austin's father Scott and all the struggles he faces, like alcoholism and his difficult relationship with his wife Teresa. Oh, and he's also played by Zachary Levi, as if we didn't need enough reasons to hate him. This is my biggest problem with the film. It barely gives any focus to Austin's conditions and how they affect him, rather focusing on all the boring drama involving his father, which takes up a good chunk of the movie. And how they did portray Austin's condition felt very disingenuous as an autistic person. Not only did it feel like a caricature of surface-level tropes and mannerisms, but the movie tries so hard to make this feel uplifting that it just falls flat. Autistic people are normal people. It's not some quirky disability or anything like that. We just have trouble with communicating and processing other people's emotions. Granted, some people may have higher support needs than others, but that's why it's a spectrum, because no two people on it are the same. And this was especially egregious in what I consider the worst scene in the whole film. And given the subject matter, I want to give a brief trigger warning that if any of these subjects are upsetting for you, then feel free to skip to this timestamp. Basically, Austin's parents mix up his medication, and this leads to a drastic shift in his behavior. Now he's shouting the R slur a bunch of times and insulting his parents, to the point where they have to send him to a mental institution, all because they gave him the wrong meds. And this is framed as the right decision. And the worst part is that we're not even given any indicators that Austin might be depressed or anxious. We're shown a few scenes of him getting bullied, but otherwise this comes right out of nowhere, feels extremely artificial as a point of drama, and we barely even see how he adjusts to the situation since all it's focused on is his parents. Okay, now that I've gotten all that out of my system, the rest of the movie isn't much better. There's more inspiration porn here than the amount of porn you'd get from Googling Overwatch fan art, as it's a pseudo-inspirational coming-of-age story where Austin is merely a plot device meant to lift up the lives of the neurotypical people around him. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but it also falls into the time-honored tradition of casting a neurotypical actor to play a neurodivergent character, as if it wasn't apparent enough that the filmmakers did the bare minimum with their autism research beyond whatever Ableism Speaks told them. Also, this goes without saying, but please do not attack the kid who played Austin in this movie. Harassing people for starring in a bad movie is never okay, and he was only doing his job as an actor despite how ill-informed the script was. The rest of the actors aren't much better, and I kid you not, one of the characters is literally a plot device lifted straight out of Fight Club, where he serves as the dad's imaginary friend and moral compass. I wish I was making this shit up. And not only does it feel like a Lifetime movie through its writing, but it also feels that way through its presentation. There's practically nothing interesting in terms of the direction, cinematography, or soundtrack, and the religious elements are poorly integrated and only feel like they were included to justify this coming from Lionsgate's faith-based subsidiary. With all this negativity, you might be wondering, was there anything in this movie that I'd even say was competent? And after a lot of thinking, I gotta say, no. There was not. The Unbreakable Boy is an insulting dumpster fire with nothing redeemable about it whatsoever. Not only is its portrayal of autism incredibly distasteful, but it feels like nothing more than a prop to aid in the boring drama of the neurotypical characters. Whether or not you're on the spectrum, please do not watch this film at all. There's much better stuff you can give your attention to instead, and even better movies with autism coding and representation. I thought really hard about if this film is truly worthy of a 1 out of 10 rating, and honestly, I think it is. It's so bad that I'd even consider Jeffy to be a better portrayal of autism, and that's really saying something. But can the next movie I'll be talking about be any better? Well, that movie is gonna be Mickey 17, which honestly looks really good. And considering how talented the director is, I have a feeling I'll be enjoying this one quite a lot. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Isaac Reviews 2025. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you all later.